Hello and welcome to Grammar and Writing Lesson 8. Hope you guys are having a great day. Let's start with some vocabulary. We just have two words we're going over today. These words are spelled differently and pronounced differently, but they look very similar. The first one that you can see already is alley. Alley, A-L-L-E-Y, alley. You can remember it's pronounced alley because there's an E in the spelling. This is talking about a narrow back street. So it's a road that's like behind another road. It's in the back. That's the alley. For example, the garages for some homes are accessible only by an alley. A garage, remember that's where a car would be parked in a home. There aren't a whole lot of garages here on the island, but there are some. So a garage, that's where you park your car. The garages for some homes are accessible, meaning you can only get to them by an alley. The second word is ally. Ally. That one just has a Y, no E. So ally is with the E, ally with just a Y. An ally is a confederate or a fellow member of an alliance. A confederate, that means like a friend, a member, the other part of the definition, of an alliance. An alliance is a group of people who have all decided that you agree on the same thing, you support the same thing. France was an ally of the United States, that should be during the World Wars. France was an ally of the United States during the World Wars. Fill in the blank with the correct vocabulary word. Great Britain remains a strong blank of the United States. Should that be ally or ally? Number 2, place your parked cars in the blank behind the house. Ally or ally? Number 3, trying to knock down all 10 pins, the bowler rolls his ball down a long. Ally or ally? Trying to knock down all 10 pins, the bowler rolls his ball down a long. Ally or ally? And number 4, Lucy's most dependable ally or ally is her husband. Don't forget, you can pause it to write down your answers. Don't just wait for me to show them. All right, number 1, Great Britain remains a strong ally of the United States. Number 2, place your parked cars in the alley behind the house. Trying to knock down all 10 pins, the bowler rolls his ball down a long alley. Alley. So that's a back, it's a little lane that you would roll your ball down. If you've ever played like Wii bowling, or maybe you've been to a bowling alley, if you've gone to the States, or I don't know if they have any on the mainland, you'd have to tell me. We call that an alley, the row of wood that the bowling ball rolls down. That's a bowling alley. And number 4, Lucy's most dependable ally is her husband, someone who would be on her side, help her with things. Okay, we're reviewing sentences still. So like you saw the last 2 lessons, we have a sentence is a group of words that expresses a complete thought and contains a subject and a predicate. So your subject in the sentence is way, your predicate is. Complete subject, the way of the Lord. Complete predicate is strength to the upright. Okay, in a simple sentence, remember we talked about a simple sentence before? That's one subject-verb set. We could also call a simple sentence an independent clause, but don't worry about that right now. Right now, just focus on calling it a simple sentence. Simple sentence. It's one subject-verb set. You can have a compound subject, or you can have a compound verb, or you could have both, but they each share each other, so it's one set. For example, our founding fathers drafted the Constitution in 1787. Founding fathers drafted. Tyler and Cameron dove into the pool and swam to the other side. Founding Fathers drafted for the first one. Tyler and Cameron are your subjects in the second one. Dove and swam are your verbs in the second one. So you have, excuse me. So you have that compound here. Tyler and Cameron, they both dove and swam. So even though you have a compound subject and a compound verb, try to mark that, it's still one sentence because Tyler and Cameron both dove and swam. They share each other. Tyler and Cameron share dove. Tyler and Cameron share swam. So it's still one simple sentence. Okay, so there you can see that again. Okay, in a compound sentence, you have two simple sentences put together. Now, sorry for the awkward pauses on the other slides. My slide didn't want to move forward, so here we are. Now my slide did move forward. Okay, so in a compound sentence, you have two simple sentences connected or joined by either a comma and conjunction or a semicolon. Okay, so a comma and conjunction like in the first example, or a semicolon like the second example. So look here. In the first part of the first compound sentence, we're in number 1, I chose the card. Your verb is chose, your subject is I. This is one simple sentence. Then you have comma, which I kind of wrote through my comma, so let me get rid of that so it's not in the way. There we go. All right, so we have our comma here. There we go. Comma, and she chose the gift. So over here we have chose is your verb. Who or what chose? She chose. So she chose the gift. These are two separate simple sentences. They're joined by your comma and your coordinating conjunction and. You cannot say that I, the subject, shares, chose this verb. It does not. I only goes with this verb, chose. It doesn't go with the second one. She goes with the second chose. So she chose here. I chose here. So two separate sentences. Let's look at the second example, number 2, right here. The Lord is my shepherd, semicolon, I shall not want. So that semicolon is that symbol there joining the two. Lord is your first subject-verb set. I shall want is your second set. Lord does not go with shall want. I only goes with shall want. I doesn't go with is. So it's two separate sets. So it makes it a compound sentence because here's one and here's the other one, joined by that semicolon. Let's take a look at some of the compound, the coordinating conjunctions, that we need to use for our compound sentences. Now you can use others than these 3, but these are the most common 3. So, and is the first one. That's the most common, the one that you will use the most often. And indicates additional information. So you're putting more information in the second sentence that either clarifies, makes the first sentence clearer, or just gives more. For example, Kurt composes music, comma, and Molly writes lyrics. So you know that Kurt composes music, add a little more information, Molly writes lyrics. The conjunction but shows contrast, shows that one thing is different from the other. For example, black and white are contrasting colors because they are very different from each other. They're opposite from each other. We have been eating, comma, but they have been starving. So you're showing one person's eating, the other person's not. It's a contrast, it's a difference. Or shows a choice. So you're between two things. Words can injure or words can heal. You have a choice between the two. They can injure, they can cause harm, they can heal. All right, you see that little notebook? Make sure you have your notebook out, make sure you have the correct heading, because when your parents bring in your stuff for me to check, I'm going to be checking for the correct headings, and if I don't have your correct headings, guess what? It's getting sent back to you, and you have to do it over again. So please make sure that you do it correctly the first time. Okay. Tell whether each sentence is simple or compound. If it is compound, write the coordinating conjunction. Now I know that's probably a hard word, by the way, coordinating, because it can be hard for me. So you should practice saying it. Coordinating. 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 Coordinating conjunction that joins the two simple sentences. So write either simple or compound. You don't need to write the whole sentence out. Just write simple or compound. If it's compound, write down the coordinating conjunctions. So is it and, or, but. Number 1. The Pulitzer Prize is awarded for outstanding achievement in literature, but not every outstanding writer receives it. Number 2. The value of the Pulitzer Prize is $1,000 for journalism, but it is only $500 for music. Number 3. William Faulkner wrote remarkable fiction and received 2 Pulitzer Prizes. Number 4. John Steinbeck won the Pulitzer Prize for The Grapes of Wrath, and Ernest Hemingway won it for The Old Man and the Sea. Okay, pause the video now if you need to. Here we go. Number 1, it is compound. Compound, and your coordinating conjunction is but. So the Pulitzer Prize is awarded for outstanding achievement in literature is one sentence, comma, but not every outstanding writer receives it. Remember, if you can cover up one part of the sentence and the second half still makes sense as a sentence, then you know you've got that compound sentence. Number 2, the value of the Pulitzer Prize is $1,000 for journalism, but it is only $500 for music. That is compound as well. And but is your coordinating conjunction. Number 3, William Faulkner wrote remarkable fiction and received 2 Pulitzer Prizes. This one is simple. That verb received goes with William Faulkner as well as wrote. So wrote and received, both, William Faulkner both wrote and received. He did both. So they share the same subject. So it's simple. And number 4 is also compound, and that the coordinating conjunction is and. Your homework is to complete Language C, page 17. Okay, in writing, we are talking about building a paragraph. Remember, a paragraph is a group of sentences that builds on a main idea or topic. Presents one main idea and develops it with more specific information. Do you remember what that main idea is presented in? We'll get to that in a second. Supporting sentences for a paragraph are arranged in logical order, meaning it flows from one topic to the next in a way that makes sense. So your main idea, that's presented in your topic sentence. It's a complete sentence telling the main idea of a paragraph. It's usually the first sentence. For your homework, you need to complete the review lesson, the paragraph, pages 2 through 4 in your homework packet. That's the title that it has. All right, have a wonderful day, guys. Do your very, very best. If you have any questions, don't forget to let me know. Love you. Bye.